Welcome back to Project 613. Today we once again learn the mitzvah of Techum Shabbat. And this is the biblical prohibition. It is forbidden for us to travel beyond the city's limits on the Shabbat. And this is an area of 2,000 amot, which is approximately 3,000 feet outside of the city. That is the total area that we would be allowed to travel to. Beyond that, it would be forbidden. And as mentioned, this doesn't mean traveling by car. That would anyhow be forbidden. This means even traveling by foot. One can only walk up until 2,000 amot outside of the city. Beyond that, it would be considered forbidden. We know this from the verse that says, Al Yetze Ish Mimkomo Bayom HaShvi'i, no man shall leave his house on the Shabbat. And this was a verse in reference to the Jewish people in the desert, telling them that it's forbidden for them to collect the manna on the Shabbat. And for all future generations, this is a reference to this mitzvah, that it's forbidden for us to walk outside of the city's limits on Shabbat. What happens if a person does travel beyond this limit on Shabbat? The halacha is then very strict, that a person must remain in his space until Shabbat ends, and only then can he continue traveling or can he return to where he came from. And the exact amount of space a person is limited to remain in, if they went beyond the 2,000 amma limit, is a total of 4 amot, which is approximately 6 feet. This is because the verse says, Shavu ish tachtov, each man shall remain in his place. And the place, the space of a human being, the sages approximated it to be approximately 6 feet. For when a person stands up straight from their feet until the top of their hand, if it would be outstretched, is approximately 6 feet. And this then becomes the total area that a person who left the permissible area would be allowed to move about in until the Shabbat ends. Now, what happens if a person, for an important reason, does have to travel beyond the city's limit on Shabbat? So there is a mechanism known as Eruvi Techumin. And Eruvi Techumin is a rabbinic injunction which allows the person to basically extend the limit of how far he's able to walk on Shabbat, and to allow them to be able to travel an additional 2,000 amot. How is this done? This is done by placing bread or food for approximately 2 meals in any area within the 2,000 amma radius, which is allowed to walk in. And if a person places their food in that area before the Shabbat begins, they are essentially making a statement that that is considered their living quarters. And by doing so, they have now extended the limit of where they can go, where they can now travel from that area. They have a full 2,000 amma radius from the place that they have placed their bread. This is known as Eruvi Techumin. This is a complex subject in Jewish law with many, many details, and it is usually only employed for the sake of doing a mitzvah, not for any other reason. And of course, there are many more details that are discussed in the Talmud and in Shulchan Aruch, but this is the gist of it, that when a person places their food in any area within the 2,000 amma radius, which is allowed to begin with, they in effect are able to extend their limit. Instead of their limit starting from the edge of the city, going 2,000 amma outward, their limit now starts from the place where they put their food, going 2,000 ammas beyond that. So effectively, the city can end. About 2,000 ammas later, you place your food and establish that as your dwelling place, and then you have an additional 2,000 ammas from there to continue walking. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.